旭日东升，阳光强力穿透，将黑暗点亮，搭配空气和水，亿万年来不断孕育生命，更造就出地球上最浩瀚的热带雨林——亚马逊。蓬勃生气，容纳超过100万物种，动植物种类全球居冠，既是生命天堂，却也神秘莫测、潮湿险恶，随时能向地狱夺人性命。丰富资源让人类掠夺野心不曾停止，不过环境闷热，瘴疠之气不利生存，反倒替亚马逊阻挡入侵破坏，延长雨林寿命。在大自然中做个深呼吸，把空气中的氧输送进血液当中，再把二氧化碳从人体中排出，令人神清气爽。这动物维持生命的重要机制是肺的主要功能，而地球作为一个巨大的有机体，我目前所在的亚马逊雨林是全球最大的热带雨林，长期以来被视为是地球之肺。不过近年来，众多科学家发现它的排碳量已经超越了吸碳量。换句话说，当死亡交叉发生之后，亚马逊雨林已经成为净排碳源，这意味着过去的地球之肺沦为排放温室气体的大型烟囱。长期以来，树借由光合作用吸收二氧化碳，再把碳固定于木材中。当种树成林后，也促使土壤固碳，这是大自然抓碳存碳的重要机制。而亚马逊雨林就是地球上最大的存碳库之一。
Our research is showing that the Amazon forest is now losing carbon dioxide. From a condition of carbon sink to a condition of carbon emission, because the mortality is surpassing the recruitment, the new trees and the new stocks. So we are losing carbon stocks.
眼前绿地一望无际，但深浅林田彼此泾渭分明。本该杂乱模糊的边界，却被画出这条极度不自然的直线。这是人类破坏亚马逊最致命的一道伤口。
Because we have a lot of branches and leaves lying on the floor of the forest caused by the boundary, and so it is a fuel for fire, to feed fire. So it's kind of border make the fire easy to start on the forest border and then come into the forest.
为了生产大豆或种草养牛，人类和雨林争地，强行砍伐、焚烧、开垦森林，成为农田。这样大举破坏所释放出的碳，占了巴西全国每年碳排总量将近1半。位在亚马逊东南部的 Mato Grosso 州是最严重灾区。
You can see this milk, this latex is important for protection of the leaves, with a resistance of leaves against drought or even against fire.
干季引发森林野火， 从起火到熄灭本是自然现象。雨林周边就是靠这种类似橡胶的树种，坚韧的叶子、含水量高的乳汁，抵御野火扩散。但当雨林边缘被大豆和牧草取代，干季的森林野火往往一发不可收拾。
This tree can indicate how many trees becomes new inside the plot.
巴西科学团队深入雨林研究超过2万棵树木，透过高度、树干直径变化，统计出亚马逊雨林长期碳循环总和。简单来说，活树能持续抓碳，凋零的不仅停止吸碳，更开始从木材和土壤释放二氧化碳。
We can compare the news and the mortality to see the budget of carbon, the carbon budget of the forest. How many carbon is storage and how many carbon dioxide we are losing because the climate change, the global warming.
偏偏树木不像动物或人类，死亡会即刻倒下。为了精准定义树木死亡，除了体型必须持续增长，更透过仪器测量树木吸收或排放多少二氧化碳。
We can see the trunk without bark and fungi attacking. Fungi is active in this tree. The fungi is like this and several species like this little one, decomposing the wood and then releasing the carbon dioxide.
眼前站得直挺的大树，3年前早就死亡，但科学家预估它还能再站10年。不过这段期间就是个排碳源，释放温室气体，引发全球暖化。这恶性循环将再导致更多树木死亡。
We found that the fast growth trees are dying faster than old growth trees, slow growth trees. The trunk becomes too weak, and then the plants can break because the winds and can die because the drought, because the trunk cannot hold the water enough against the evapotranspiration.
全球暖化导致雨林不断创下破纪录高温，而长得更快、更高的树还不够健壮时，顶部碰到最热的树冠层，因而烫伤。加上极端天气引发更大雨势、更强劲狂风，再都对树有着十足破坏力。
Say to me that if there is happening a tipping point, maybe in the part of the southern part of the Amazon forest, I would say yes, because there we have a lot of burning forest and deforestation. But if we go northern, in the northern part of the Amazon region, I would say no, because we still have a sinking process in terms of CO2 absorption by the forest.
保育观念抬头后，人类也积极植树造林，但始终不及破坏速度。甚至近20年来，亚马逊雨林被砍伐的面积已经打破历年纪录，相当于14个台湾大。
If we keep in this rhythm of destruction and everything, for sure we're gonna reach the tipping point, not just here, but in the African tropical forest, in the Asian tropical forest fast. There will be a point where the cycles will be broken, and then we're gonna have a really big.
亚马逊存亡之战不止在农田和雨林之间，周边城镇的水资源也陷入拉警报边缘。
This is a true example of climate change.
科学家带我们往上游走，100年来这条溪流就是当地最重要水源，方圆20公里，不论民生或灌溉用水都靠它。
The water is reducing year by year until this stream is totally dry. We are in the wet season because that the water is almost normal. But in dry season, this stream will be completely dry.
2月份正值亚马逊雨季，该泛滥的河流没有暴涨，只勉强达到正常水位。
导致水资源缺口越来越大。从2018年开始，当地民众已经放弃，不再把它当作主要水源。
Now the dry season is longer than natural way. Is 2 months longer than previously. Because this, we have the lack of water from the rainfall and again from the soil.
毁灭森林不止地表受到影响，从土壤到地下水层都已经严重受害。
Years ago, it was a forest like that or like that, and 20 years ago, it was a pasture, and now we have a very degraded pasture here. Very, very degraded.
So what about 20 years later?
20 years later, maybe it will be worse than today, maybe a desert.
土地退化如同人类的贪婪，永无止境。位在亚马逊东南边，原本是片热带雨林，短短几十年就从牧场的草原样貌，要再变成沙漠，几乎指日可待。
We are losing the moisture and losing the nutrition of the soil. The soil holding the moisture, the water holding capacity of the soil is decreasing because more sand in the soil and less. This is a proof of degradation because this is a termite mounds, and the termites construct these mounds in areas strongly degraded.
雨林一旦退化，不论成为沙漠或草原，这几乎是不可逆的惨剧，也意味着物种多样性持续骤减。
30 years ago, it was a huge forest, a continuous forest, exactly like this.
It's dark.
This dark area, you can see this red, this green, dark green, and now we have this huge clean area.
透过卫星照片，科学家指出，亚马逊被破坏的最严重的东南部，短短10年，雨林被毁灭的面积达到18万平方公里，相当于台湾的5倍。
Because the climate is changing very fast, because we are losing forest and we are losing the effect of the forest in control it and regulate the climate. Now the climate is out of control.
当界限不再是底线，当边缘不断被越界，持续让晴雨风云发展成更失控的极端天气，也一步步把人类推向存亡临界点。